So you might have noticed that your son or daughter has been receiving grades in a different way than you did when you were a student. Over the last few years at the secondary level, we have done a significant job of thinking differently about the way that we give grades. So I want to take some time today and really help everyone understand why we're doing this and what it might mean for you. There are three other problems that happen with a system that is built around points that I really want to focus on today. Number one, if you have 10 homework or class assignments and you get a 0 on one of them, you have to get a 100% on the next 9 assignments for your set of 10 assignments to be an A. And that doesn't feel fair to kids who we ask to work so hard in so many different areas. I think it is critical for us to consider how this impact is. So let's imagine a student who is growing as a learner, and at the beginning of a class they get a 40%. Their second test score is a 40%, their third test score is a 70%, and the fourth score is a 90%. What a great student. They grew over time. Now let's imagine another student in the same class whose scores go like this: 90%, 70%, 40%, and 40%. Two very different learners. We have a student who has really grown in the class and come into their own and learned the standards that we want them to learn, and another student who has over time struggled and not been able to achieve at a high level. This situation here is really challenging for us in that both of these students in an average-based system would receive the same score, and that to us is just not acceptable. So the last thing that has been a struggle for us over time is to consider, what does it mean to allow a student to have a chance to re-perform? So imagine a student has an essay or a test and they don't do as well as they like the first time. In a points-based model, I'm going to have to re-perform every single assignment. We think that a model that's built around learning, I can give you an assessment in September about that learning target, another assessment in October or November or December, and all of those assessments can be about the same learning target. And it gives you another chance to perform. It isn't a retake at that moment about that event, but it is a chance for us to see again how well you can do and have mastered the standard. So what happens here is not only are we not placing emphasis on the points, we are not placing emphasis on the events. What's really important is how well you are able to, over time, show success on those learning targets. And we think that this idea of re-performance is a much better way to give second chances, because we understand that not every kid comes to every assessment and performs at his or her best on that day. This is another problem we want to make sure that our evidence-based model can provide a solution to.